Gua Haiyuan actually died, right up until his final moment. He still kept his fighting stance. Everyone in the crowd was completely stunned. No one expected the greatest master of Chinese martial arts to end his life this way, even though the doctors had already confirmed Gua Haiyuan's death. Yujiro just couldn't accept it. At that moment, Yujiro was consumed by rage. He never saw this coming at such a crucial time, that something like this would happen. Yujiro held back his anger, even though he was extremely frustrated. In the end, he could only leave the ring disappointed. But just when everyone was lost in grief, something shocking happened. Gua Haiyuan, who'd been dead for 2 hours, suddenly sat up like he'd come back to life. This scene scared everyone there out of their minds. But Gua Haiyuan just waved his hand casually, and calmly said my opponent wasn't even human. In his youth, Gua Haiyuan had fought wild beasts countless times, but the threat Yujiro posed was unlike anything he'd ever faced. If Yujiro's punch had connected at the end, he definitely wouldn't have survived. This was martial arts at its finest. For over 100 years he'd studied defensive techniques, through constant physical training, though his body became quite frail. This was the perfect martial artist's physique. Eventually he realized there's no better defense than death itself. Every fight in this world ends without a winner when one fighter dies. What seems like a dirty trick is really the mind games between martial arts and technique. To fight a monster like Yujiro to the death, and actually survive. That's something Gua Haiyuan can brag about for life. Meanwhile, Yujiro also heard the news that Gua Haiyuan hadn't died, but he just pushed his kolo away, and casually said, "The Sea Emperor is still the Sea Emperor." That night, Yujiro came to the arena alone. Looking at the scattered rocks, Yujiro fell deep in thought again. But just then, Gua Haiyuan appeared. Facing the reappeared Gua Haiyuan, Yujiro seemed pretty calm, and Gua Haiyuan spoke his mind. This was the most incredible fight he'd had in 100 years, though he couldn't defeat his opponent. It was still a form of training. Then the old master offered his Sea Emperor title to Yujiro, but faced with this ultimate honor, Yujiro said thanks for the thought, but only you deserved the Sea Emperor title. After all, what he wanted was just an equally matched opponent. But then Gua Haiyuan suddenly called out to Yujiro, "War Demon!"
100年経ったらまたわしも呼ばれてみたい。地上最強の聖